Alright, welcome back. Round 2 previews, here we go. Starting with the New York Islanders and the Boston Bruins. The playoff matchups you see on the screen right now are subject to change. I'm just going off on what team is leading in the series as of me recording this on May 27th. That's what I stand here with the matchups. Those might change as we play out the game 6s and 7s, but round 2 is in a hurry to get started, so I'm going to preview the Islanders and Bruins here today. Alright, here was my bracket. It's completely shattered, but there it is. First of all, the Oilers, way too much faith in them. The Bruins I did predict correctly. I did predict Boston in 6 games, I think, and they won it in 5. Otherwise, it was a pretty disastrous first round for my predictions. That's for sure. Alright, so game 1 is on Saturday, May 29th in Boston at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to go through this video in just one slide, so bear with me here. Gonna talk a little bit. So Boston, 33-16-7, 73 points in the regular season, defeated the Capitals in 5 games. Really well done. Points leaders, David Pastrnak, 6 points, Charlie McAvoy, 5 assists, Patrice Bergeron, 4 points, Brad Marchand, 3 goals. Goaltending, Tuukka Rask, 4-1, 1.81 goals against average, 941 save percentage. He's been great. Power play, 26.3%, 5th in the league, 85.7% on the penalty killing in the playoffs, 4th in the league. Season series went to the Islanders 5-3, but the Bruins didn't win their last 3 games of that season series. The New York Islanders, 32-17-7, 71 points. They defeated the Penguins in 6 games. Points leaders, Anthony Beauvillier, 7 points, Gigi Pajot, 7 points, Brock Nelson and Josh Bailey each have 6 points, and Mayfield with 4 points. Goaltending, Julius Sorokin, 4-0, 1.95 goals against average, 943 save percentage. A great goaltender for the Islanders, and he's been pretty solid in basically every game so far, maybe with the exception of game 6 against Pittsburgh, which was a tough outing both ways, but still very stellar. Semyon Varlamov will probably be backing up here. He hasn't won a playoff game yet this year. We'll see if he gets any more starts. Power play, 18.8%, 8th in the league. Penalty kill, 75%, 11th out of 16 teams. And the season series, as I said, went to the Islanders. Alright, so before I go over my predictions here, let's take a look at some storylines. So, this is actually the first meeting in the playoffs for the Boston Bruins and the New York Islanders. We don't see this matchup very often, and we likely won't see much of this matchup because of the divisions next year. So Boston does have the home ice advantage as the number 3 seed against the number 4 seed New York Islanders. And who expected this matchup? A first and second seed getting knocked off. Sure, maybe you expected the Islanders to beat Pittsburgh because I think their core was able... I think their core is just built to beat Pittsburgh. It's very hard to describe, but that's how it is. No, Boston's a different team, though. So the regular season head-to-head, 2-part story. The Bruins struggled mightily against the Islanders for most of the year, going winless in the first 5 matchups, but meaningful moves after the trade deadline, or before the trade deadline, the Bruins able to dominate the Islanders in the last 3 games and outscoring the Islanders by a 10-3 margin. Key matchup here is that the Bruins do need to slow down the Islanders, especially that second line, which is a trio of Anthony Beauvillier, Brock Nelson, and Josh Bailey, scored 8 5-on-5 goals in round 1. including one from Beauvillier and 2 from Nelson in Game 6 against Pittsburgh. The first line for the Islanders have not been very potent. Barzal has 0 goals and just 1 5-on-5 assist in 6 games. So, the perfection line for Boston, as you know, Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak will probably be matched up against that second line. Probably they'll play McAvoy and Grzelcyk against the Islanders' second line as well. They'll probably have to go all in. Now let's look at the Bruins' second line of Taylor Hall, David Krejci, and Craig Smith. They were good in round 1-2 with 3 goals in 5 games against the Capitals. And if the Bruins' second line is even with the Islanders' second line in terms of scoring, the Bruins will be in pretty good shape because they also have a very good first line if you haven't noticed. So some X factors, some players to watch here. So Matt Barzal, he wasn't that good in the first round. He had 3 assists, only 1 on 5-on-5 play. He needs to get some scoring, maybe get more assists. I know he's a playmaker, so he needs to get some of those passing plays going. J.G. Pageau, he's the most notable Bruins killer left in the playoffs. He's dominated Boston during the regular season with 8 points, with 5 goals and 3 assists in 8 games. He scored 11 times in 31 career games against the Bruins. Crucial part of that third line for the Bruins. Another player to watch here, definitely David Pasternak. Maybe he struggled a bit early in the Capital series, but he is getting it done on those last 2 games against Washington. And he has 6 points now, and suddenly he's rocketed up to first in the team. He had 34 shot attempts in that 5-game series, 22 shots on net, which is 11 more than anyone else. Let's look at goalies. So Tuukka Rask, of course, a very, very experienced goaltender, and he's played great. 941 save percentage, 949 over the last 4 games. 41 shots, which is amazing. And for the Islanders, Ilya Sorokin, 4-0. Now, Semyon Varlamov may be what we thought was going to be the starter, but Ilya Sorokin has been there. And he's played well. 4-0. That's always great. Okay. Now, prediction. So, the Islanders played very well against Pittsburgh because they shut them down. But the Bruins, I think, have a somewhat deeper team than Pittsburgh. If it was Pittsburgh and Boston in this situation, I'd also go with Boston. Because I think the Boston's first line and second line have been great. And maybe their depth is okay in my opinion. I think their goaltending may be a major difference here. Maybe Tuukka Rask's experience, maybe Rask and Swayman, Sorokin, Varlamov. It looks like the Bruins have a little bit more goalie depth here. Even though yeah. So I think the Islanders need to show their improvement special teams wise, because as you see Boston's power play and penalty killing numbers, you know the Islanders have to step up. And also, they need to play better 5-on-5. Taylor Hall, a big reason why Boston's 5-on-5 has been much better. But don't count out the Islanders. The Islanders played very strongly in that first round. And we can expect them to play just as good hockey as they did in that first round. It's going to be a close one here, in my opinion. My prediction will be Boston in 6 games. Alright, so that's my preview here for this second round matchup. Stay tuned for my other 3 previews, which will come later in the week. Maybe next week. I don't know when these matchups are going to end. Some of them may go as far as May 31st. We'll see what happens. Alright, enjoy the hockey, everyone. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later, and take care, everyone.